Welcome, everybody, to the Journeymen Lounge podcast.
You better be praying to God because, you're 14 and losses in a row. You're going to need Jesus.
Am I wrong?
I thought you were pretty wrong, yeah.
All right, welcome to the Journeymen Lounge podcast. I am your host, Sir Wogenstein. We have back in the building.
You got Bobby just coming back from Disneyland. So I was there for a week. It was quite enjoyable. Did the Universal, Disneyland, DCA. So, we're kind of that Disney family.
Bobby's back.
Bobby was in California.
And then
California.
Ryan on my right.
Hi, returning. Hello.
I was going to say you didn't go anywhere. You were just...
We went on our little two-way pod last week with Stripes, but it's nice to have Bobby back. I like having the full lineup and
the trio.
What he brings to the pod is unreasonable. So
Excellent.
It's good to have him back.
Excellent. All right.
Love it.
So, there it is.
Just getting into it here real quick. So we don't have too much up top to mention or anything like that. We mentioned a little bit on the last one is that we are kind of gearing up into football season.
Draft's a month away, Woj, for the big league.
Is right around the corner here. Again, as we kind of get a little bit, I need to, I'm getting my commissioner.
I got to send you the text for the one league that I'm in, by the way. I'm doing it right now.
Why?
Because you told me I had to text you I was in.
So you're one of the fucking only people that didn't
doing it right. I told you in person.
Dude, I see you fucking every day.
I told you in person.
And I told you I got to.
All right, he vocalized this. But
I got to see it.
Is my word no good?
I got to see it
there it is.
In the group chat.
You saw it.
Okay. And then
confirmed.
When I get it, you're...
Good Lord.
Thank you.
I got a few drafts coming up, actually, in the next couple
Also,
weeks.
by the way, isn't Bobby joining this league this year, or am I wrong in that? I thought he was. Am I incorrect in
This
that?
is why we need to have the numbers. So I need to confirm that everybody is back.
Is this 3 penis wine?
3 penis wine.
All right.
The best there ever was.
Sir said he was in. I know that. I saw that.
I'm just saying, though, is that
I'm
that's...
just getting bypassed.
No, that's the first step.
I thought you were booting somebody and bringing in Bobby.
No, there is no ability. I am not taking care. I'm not trying to kick anybody out that wants to be in.
The one guy was unattentive.
If you want to leave on your own accord, I mean, what you're talking about, dude, is like I will kick somebody out if you're screwing the integrity of the fucking league, which is what one guy was doing, and then we said, I said, hey, unfortunately, we're just not inviting you back. I don't want to kick anybody out just so I can get my buddy.
No, but he's already gone, right? So isn't there a slot then or no?
No, because
that got backfilled by someone's dad.
That was 2 years or
but the guy's dad.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
So again, once I confirm the numbers, Bobby is already numero uno on deck.
The block. Yeah,
he's on deck.
I'm on deck. I'm ready.
So as soon as I get the numbers, it's more of a commissioner thing because I run like that league. I'm in 3 other leagues, and then on top of that, I do the Pick'em league. I think I do 2. There's just a lot of shit. So I'm trying to get stuff like very, hey, this is done, done, compartmentalized.
Yes.
But then once I have it, we might make an announcement here if it ends up being Bobby
Besides
number 10, or how many people in your league usually?
12.
12. Oh, all right.
we're going to the bottom.
I think Bobby he'll be good for the league. He's competitive. He keeps up with things. Also good for the pod. Good chatter.
Good for good chatter.
Either way,
especially if we play one another.
Thumbs up all around.
All right, as a champion, I'll accept that.
You have an endorsement.
Also, as a champion, I will endorse that.
There you go. I definitely I agree with everything that Ryan said. It's just, again, it's more simply about a thing of like, I want to keep the integrity of the league, as pristine as possible. And I think once you get into people like, hey, I'm just going to make the decision, you're the fuck out, you're in.
I love the ethical compass that you enable in this league, apparently.
Yeah, because you guys took a shit on me fucking last. Because I'm rewatching
and you were
the
setting
pods.
players' lineups?
Yeah.
There's like a 20-minute fucking
illegal.
Shitting on me.
Because...
Well,
you dropped the ball.
If I recollect, I believe it was... Also, that it wasn't like he wanted you to decide the player too. It wasn't like he was like, "Hey, put this guy in for me." It was more like, "Hey, if this happens, what do you think?" kind of thing.
No,
wasn't it something like that?
No, it was very objective in that it was simply he was like, if he plays, I would like this guy to play. And then he ended up making the decision and then hitting me up about it as it was happening. It was like I want to play. Regardless of what happens to this guy,
regardless of his status,
I'm still going to play this guy.
I think there needs to be a full order. Like either way, like I want him, obviously there are circumstances that.
No, but I'll defend Woj in this. If someone said, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna just roll the dice on this. He's probable going into this," and Woj is like, "All right, I'll honor that. Whatever. I'm putting him in," and then he ends up being out. Tough shit.
No, I agree. No, for sure.
Yeah, I think obviously with the way that whole kerfuffle kind of went, I don't think that will be a
sometimes technology fucks up like the one year we were doing the draft for the big money league, we did it on the computer and my shit was like frozen. I had to have Kyle pause the entire draft because I was like, dude, I'm calling him like I can't
pause the entire draft.
I couldn't draft. It wouldn't let me.
No, I totally get that. I'm just, again, as we're kind of fleshing this out before we get to the album review here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just
no, it's all good. I'm just saying is that as we kind of are coming up more on the football season,
talking football.
there will be kind of, I think, more order in our pod because, again, we've already been through a season.
Yeah.
And we only honestly been through like 9 weeks of a season or so. We started like 5th week or whatever. So I'm just saying, like,
still early.
Let's have all the fans kind of, be clamoring for when we get all this shit together. It'll be much more smooth, I think, as we go into the season. We got each league. We're going to have kind of everything defined. So, that being said, let's get into a heater.
Struggling over there with all that gas, huh?
No, it was fucking Boston.
Let's say Woj, we're
in home team in extra innings. You got to bet on it.
We're in luck because we don't need any other segments because I think this is be plenty of chatter on this album. This is one of my.
Oh yeah.
So let's just
introduce it. Yeah,
I did College Dropout. You're bringing it through to graduation, which is great.
Bobby already did College Dropout. Now, technically, the next order would be Late Registration, which is also a fantastic album. However, between College Dropout and Graduation, they're among my. I can't. It's hard to decide which is my favorite. Honestly, a lot of times they're both so good.
I think there's more jams on this album than.
We're gonna get into it. It's a tighter album.
It is.
Let's go.
So it's Graduation. It came out in 2007. It's Kanye West's third studio album. It released on September 11th. And I don't know if you guys
September 11th.
I don't know if you guys recall. Yeah. I do that this album going into it dropped the same day as 50 Cent's album Curtis, his third album. It was like a big deal at the time. It was like kind of like a challenge, like who's going to sell more, and everybody, even including 50, was like, oh, 50's going to outsell him and blah blah blah. Kanye blew him out of the water.
I would take Kanye over 50 Cent too, in terms of just
overall, for sure. But at the time, 50 was
he was rising
really
star.
big.
Yeah,
he was bigger than Kanye or as big as Kanye. After this album, I think Kanye definitely became
one of his
global and huge, even more than before.
I mean, I will tell you that I just was never in a part of a group that would be like, "Oh, this guy's going to outperform this guy."
Well, no, it was like
it was
never on my radar, but it was just coincidental, and that's actually a pretty fun factoid.
Well, it was a media thing. It was like a way to drive sales, and it was like it was in on the
West Coast, East Coast,
on the radio, on the internet. Who's going to sell who. It was kind of like an open competition. So, I'm gonna give you a little background on the album right now. It was recorded between 2005, 2007, mostly produced by Kanye. I think only like one song on the album is not produced by him, which is the last one, Big Brother. Now this album kind of goes a little of a different direction for Kanye from the first two, which were more like sampling soul beats and kind of like remixing those and kind of more of that kind of Chicago kind of like classic hip hop, I would say, style. This is more of like a little bit of that, but more of like stadium. He described it as like stadium.
Oh, sorry, Ryan, to interrupt you. Yo, turn that fan off over there. Sorry, dude. A little bit of technical difficulty.
We're going to just be basking in it then. All right. We got a 98-degree day outside.
It's fine.
Anyway.
All right. Sorry, Ryan.
It was more it's more inspired by like what he called like stadium music, house music, and more indie stuff with this. It's got more different sounds, I would say, than the first two Kanye albums. I don't know if you guys noticed that at all. Like kind of like it's got some still classic like.
It does. I mean,
but it's got kind of more of a different.
Yeah,
I'll just tell you that my introduction to Kanye was this album, so I'm kind of the opposite way in that I don't really. it's like for me, it's like this is the start of it, and then I get.
So
the
you transitioned
previous.
almost backwards, or we transitioned more forwards from
probably.
I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
I was gonna say. This album was a big album for me. This is when I was buying like CDs like all the time, like every month. I would just love buying CDs to listen to my car and to listen to, and especially artists I liked, obviously.
We used to have those CD holders up
Yes,
on the top
I
visor.
still got So like I bought the 50 Cent album and this album on the same day. And I was like, oh, shit, hell yeah, I'm excited. And I was already a Kanye fan, I would say, before, but I wouldn't say, like, I wouldn't have called myself, like, I'm a Kanye guy. Like, I liked him, but I wasn't, like, super big
You
on
loved him, but you weren't in love
Yeah,
with
but,
him.
like, no, but, like this album, listening when I heard it, like, changed me and, like, wow, this guy's my guy now. And made me go back and, like, appreciate the other albums even more than I used to. Like, go back and really appreciate him as a musician, as an artist, as a producer, as a rapper.
Well, let me throw out a question here because this has always been kind of on my mind in the light of recent Kanye. Let's just say his shenanigans.
Sure.
Right. Let me, kind of pull the crowd here. Is like, I think that there is a very easily seen line with or connection with crazy and artistic. Right.
Genius and crazy.
So genius and crazy. Right. For the argument.
Very.
I would
line,
say that. Once the craziness produces a level and the music or the talent, the artistic value drops, I think that in my mind, Kanye to me is like, you're no longer like your shit is immortalized here, but as like an artist overall, I can't put him in like he is one of the greatest artists of all time for a period of time. Yes, but like in terms of having
because like
a whole catalog, like because he's released music recently, but I'm like, this ain't me. This doesn't. Hit
No, you're 100% right. I was gonna say like for me, I'll just go through like brief like the first like 5, I'll say 6 Kanye albums are like all fantastic and like bangers.
Can
like,
we call it the Gretzky effect? Was great with Edmonton. The moment he shifted to the. I'm just saying.
It's kind of like Dwight Howard leaving the Magic.
Yeah, that's a good. That's a good
Dwight Howard effect. I like that.
So yeah, like college dropout, late registration, graduation. Then it's 808s and Heartbreaks, which was a little different, but still really good. Then you got My Dark Twisted Fantasy, another great one, and then I feel like the last good one was the collaboration with Jay-Z and Kanye, Watch the Throne album, 2012, and then after that, it's kind of like. It kind of went, like you said, a little bit off the rails.
Well, there's also like isn't there a break in his music? Like he just more recently released.
He's had
music,
I see. Like you said, I don't have like those first 6. I'm all in on, and then after that, I haven't really. I heard some of them sometimes like on the radio or maybe online. I'm like, this sounds different, kind of. There's a couple that I may like One in the Life of Pablo. I don't know what it's called, but I like that one. But like again, but there's more like. These were all like every album was like every song was a banger. Every song was.
But 5 to 8 years of his startup, like that guy could not go a minute without having a great, feeling. And then, like you said, there were a lot of the Kim Kardashian fallout and all the other bullshit. It just puts a twist on him. But like I'm a fan of. I could separate the artist from his personal life, just like Pete Rose in baseball. Yeah. I could separate the gambling from his, athletic prowess.
Yeah. So he may not be in his prime anymore, at least to me or you or any of us. But from that 2003 or 4 to like 2012, he had a good run.
Yeah, I think again a good run is definitely.
And again for me, still
I'd say hell of a run, man. I wouldn't even put it as good.
He was my favorite rapper, my favorite artist. I mean, like. It's hard for me to say that now, like you said, because lately I haven't listened to his stuff. But like, if I had to put together like my top 5 rappers, he would definitely be top of the list.
You could run a Kanye album at a golf course, for 4 hours, man.
For sure. I was just pointing out the fact that like it's happened with a couple different artists where off the air type of shit off of their records, like stuff is like then people always have the argument of taking away from the music or whatever. I just look at it as Kanye, like he went fucking certified bonkers, and then the music. Hold on, let me finish, man. Sorry. And then the music is taking, unfortunately, a little bit of a dip because he's having so much media controversy and all this shit. Yeah, right. I get that. Sorry, Ryan. Go ahead.
No, my bad. My bad. I feel like I feel like you can pinpoint it to like when he went up in the Taylor Swift thing. He took the That's kind of like the beginning of like
was that at the Grammys?
That was
right?
at the MTV
Beyonce
Awards.
or something.
MTV,
Okay.
That I feel like that was kind of the beginning, kind of like we talked about we like Tom Cruise, but when he jumped on the couch, kind of
I'm in love with Kid. Yeah,
one of those moments where it was
the
like,
moment that just kind of shifts the needle the other way. Yeah.
I mean, hopefully he'll come back like Tom Cruise has come back, but I don't know. Like
that guy's a method actor. I just watched Tropic Thunder.
Yes, it's Les Grossman.
Yeah, it's Les. And honestly, I think Les Grossman is probably to key who he really is. Like I could see him just snapping off like that aggression. I don't know.
Absolutely. But let's bring it back to Graduation.
Yeah, Graduation.
I love Tropic Thunder though.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna go over the track list real quick. So the original album has 13 songs, starting with Good Morning, Champion, Stronger, I Wonder, Good Life, Can't Tell Me Nothing, Barry Bonds, Drunken Hot Girls, Flashing Lights, Everything I Am, The Glory, Homecoming, and Big Brother. And then I also asked us to go over 2 bonus tracks, which were one was on the Japanese album, one was on the iTunes bonus, which were the iTunes was Good Night, it's featuring Mos Def and I'll Be Black, and then the other one was Bittersweet Symphony, which was featuring John Mayer.
Right.
So I'm gonna start. Let's go. So they had 5 singles officially released for this album, which were Can't Tell Me Nothing, Stronger, Good Life, Flashing Lights, and Homecoming. So I would like you guys to power rank those 1 through 5, most favorite to least favorite.
Say the list.
So Flashing Lights, good. Also, I'll just give mine. So I'm gonna go. My number 1's Flashing Lights. Out of that, then Good Life, Homecoming, Stronger, and Can't Tell Me Nothing.
I'd go opposite. I think Can't Tell Me Nothing hits more my 1.
Okay.
Stronger 2.
Okay.
Flashing Lights.
Okay. Then you got Homecoming, Good Life left.
I would put Homecoming over Good Life. Good Life.
Wow.
Good Life's a jam, but I mean, Good Life's a jam. You know what? This whole album is just incredible. It's tough to rank it. I like T-Pain, so 4 or 5. Those are about interchangeable.
It's just fun to do it. Woj?
Yeah. I'd probably go Homecoming, probably numero 1.
Okay.
Can't Tell Me Nothing 2. Good Life 3. Stronger was one of them, and then what was the other one?
Flashing Lights.
Yeah, 4 or 5 interchangeable. Those are again very, very like I always will be like I remember like fucking definitely Flashing Lights come on. You're like, oh shit, like getting into it and all that stuff. But to me, the other songs blow those out of the water for me because I like the Kanye of like I don't know, feeling like you're a badass, like fucking sitting in, they're just like rocking to like,
I got you,
like that type of shit. Like that's more of me. Like I know he's made these kind of like more pop or not pop, but like more I don't know, like fucking people like dance to that shit, like Stronger, Flashing Lights. Gets people in the like up in the bar and all that shit.
Yeah,
I like Kanye more of the laid back of like good ass beats, great fucking lyrics, great fucking featuring artists. That's my home run. What did I say before? The home run space.
Home run space
for Kanye.
Right in my home run space.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
So we're gonna go with next, like our favorite. We're gonna call them B-sides, which were again for those at home. These would be like songs that you wouldn't hear on the radio or anywhere unless you bought the album or listened to the album, streamed the album. Ones that weren't like generally common people would know. Let's put it that way. With that.
Sure.
So let's give me. I don't know if you guys have like.
I got 2 right out.
2, 3, 4, whatever you get.
2. Barry Bonds, loved that track.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
And then Everything I Am. That was another, I think, powerful jam. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and you know what? I knocked Good Life too much a little early on my first one. I'd probably bump it up to 4. And
all right.
But dude, yeah, Good Life is just.
It's a banger.
That's just a smooth beat, man.
Yeah.
You could chill.
I would definitely go with Everything I Am. I Wonder, would that technically be on the B-side?
Yes.
I Wonder for sure. And
that was
then Good Morning, was that?
That's yes.
Okay. So yeah.
Any ones out of the 5 we talked about before are qualify.
Okay. So yeah, those would be the B-side. I do have to. I mean, are we getting to kind of ones that we didn't
No,
like?
let me give mine first, and then we can get into it.
I'm just saying I didn't know if there's a category. For that,
we're getting into it.
Well, I'm just saying, with Kanye, it's kind of like
pushing our
sometimes.
chips in there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, oh well, I can't really say, oh, this is a bad song.
No, that's okay.
I love this album.
We're gonna get into it.
I got
Okay,
you.
go ahead.
For me, for the B's, by far, for me, Everything I Am. Then I got I Wonder. Then I got The Glory, and then I got Champion. It's really hard for me to decide between those four. Like ranking them was like honestly kind of difficult. I was like, I listened to them probably like over and over again last night. I'm like, oh, I like this part, but I like this part. Like, they're really good. So, do you guys want to go to? You want to go to skips then, or
Go to skips.
Okay, go. What do you got? Do you have any? I don't have any skips. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, there obviously you could, but they're all good.
Drunk and hot girls.
Yeah, I second that.
I'm not surprised you guys said that.
No, but it seems
Too repetitive.
I think lazier for him. Sorry, call it lazier because he's had great lyrics, great beats, and this one seemed like, all right, I got through this 40 seconds, boom, repeat, and boom, repeat. And that's a song.
I understand what you're saying, and I felt the same when I first heard it, but I feel like the more I listen to it over the years, the less I dislike it and the more I come to appreciate it. It is repetitive, and it's kind of, I guess the content's whatever is kind of stupid, but I kind of think it's funny, like, just like the shit he says about like.
Oh no, I get it.
Like, because I feel like we've all kind of been there.
We've all been there.
When
yeah.
there's drunk girls, and you're trying to like, close the night out or whatever, and like they're just like blah 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 blah, or like or like that one part he's like, "Don't fall asleep, we almost heck." Like I don't know, just that kind of shit. It's fun. I mean, it amused me. It was funny.
It's amusing. I'll give you that, but it just for him, it didn't line up with some of these other hits on here. And Big Brother, that's a longer track. Did we ever? And that one,
it's a good story, but it's a long.
Yeah, man,
track.
that's an investment. And not saying it's a skip, but
no, that's okay. Because actually, I was gonna venture into this. I was gonna go say our overall, regardless of A or B, top three, bottom three.
Okay.
If you guys want to do that, I can go first if you like.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Sure.
So for me, Everything I Am is my favorite on the album. I think it's the best song. I love it's a laid, chill back piano beat with a little bit of scratching from the DJ. That's like my favorite kind of Kanye, like chill, laid back, like just spitting like good words like that makes sense. He's telling a story. And then I had The Glory. I really love that one. And then the last one is hard for me to decide. I flip-flop between I Wonder and Champion. I have I Wonder in there right now, but I could easily see me switching out for Champion. They're kind of just two different. Champion's more upbeat and more of like a, that kind of thing. And the other one's more of like slow, like a little slower, a little different, but both really good in their own ways, I felt like. Mm-hmm. And then, should I go my bottom three, or you guys want to go top three first and then go bottom?
No,
three?
just go bottom. Go top
okay,
three.
Bottom three. Honestly, for me, I'm not a big Can't Tell Me Nothing guy. I think I've just heard it too many times.
Get the fuck out of here.
I don't. I just think that it's kind of simple and it's
simple. Simple, you call it. Okay.
I don't know. Like Kanye just has better songs. They're just more interesting songs to listen to than that one. I find myself usually, like I said, there's no skips, but I do skip that sometimes. Like.
That's fine. Your opinion has been heard.
And then I had Big Brother.
Is that because you've overheard it from or what is it? What's the Vegas movie?
No, from The Hangover.
Yeah.
No, I just honestly, I never really thought it was that great. I never thought it was bad. I just always thought it was like it's fine.
Okay, fine.
Then I had Big Brother, which, like you said, I think it's a good, like what he's talking about Jay-Z and how he, he's like his big brother, and it's a good song, but it just takes kind of a while and it's a little slower.
Yeah.
And then I had Good Morning for my third. And again, I think they're all good though, but like if I had to pick three, that would be it.
All right. We heard you. I'm not.
I know
I'm not happy with it.
I know. Like, I don't know. Drunk and Hot Girls is like, it's just more interesting for me to listen to. I get more out of it. I know it's like maybe not as good as most people.
But one thing that you kind of stumbled over. I really enjoy The Glory. That's a really cool track. And dude, honestly, to put a top three on this, I mean,
it's hard to do. It really hard.
is challenging. I mean, I Wonder's. I love Can't Tell Me Nothing, but outside of that, I Wonder, The Glory, and then Everything I Am. That's definitely top.
Yeah.
It's odd that none of us mentioned. It's a good song, but it's like call it the mayonnaise and the sandwich. You could do it without. But Good Morning is a good song, and it's a great way to introduce the album. But it's and I'm not saying it's vanilla. I'm just saying It's mayonnaise. You could have a sandwich without it.
Yeah, I think that the fact that it's called Good Morning makes sense that it leads the album off. But as far as like, is it like a banger? No.
I like the beat though. I really like the I guess instrumental and the beat to that song.
I kind of like how more like when it ends and then it leads into Champion and like that's upbeat.
That was a good transition.
I feel like it works well there.
Oh, okay. I have I Wonder as a top, Good Life, and then Homecoming.
Okay.
I will go bottom barrel. Barry Bonds, no thank you.
Boo.
Drunken Hot Girls, no thank you. And Big Brother, no thank you.
I would like to get into Barry Bonds a little bit. It's interesting you said that. I love Barry Bonds.
I love it too.
But I think that having him and Lil Wayne, just again, two of the biggest rappers, I think.
What a collaborative effort on this album too.
At the time and overall the last like 25 years, like especially at that time in 2007, both on top of the rap game, like them on a track together was like a big anticipation, and it was really cool. Like I like how they just kind of do their thing. Like I'll do my verse, you do yours, and like I think the beat's like interesting. You know, it's not like obviously it's not like a big chorus like it's just Barry Bonds or whatever. Like so like in terms of like maybe like that's maybe why you don't like it.
I mean, I would say that it's partially the fact that to me, like this Lil Wayne is not.
But you don't like Lil Wayne. I remember you saying that.
I didn't say that.
Ooh.
I didn't say
man,
that
dude,
per
some
se.
fighting
on
words.
the golf course,
right.
he was like, Lil Wayne's okay.
I said he was just fine.
And I was like, Lil Wayne's one of the greatest rappers, man.
Okay, well, it's for another day.
Especially over the last like.
To me though, I think I just like Lil Wayne on some other type of more like. I don't know. It's like it's tough to describe. It's like what I have a picture of what Lil Wayne is like sounds like, and what I think he's best on is when he's going like real like, yeah, Weezy babe, like fucking like a little crackhead type of.
That's what he
shit.
did though.
No, on this one was
Wheezy baby.
Yeah, I'm saying
Ice like shady.
He does that. I'm just saying though is like in the other verse, the one verse that I'm thinking of. I'm hoping I have this. Did he do any other songs on this album? No.
No. Well, I was gonna say specifically, Kanye made it a conscious effort to not have. Originally, he's gonna have no featured artists.
Okay.
And then he only has like 3 songs with featured artists.
Which those are again. I like that he's got the caliber of artist. To me, it just hits the mark. I just don't love it. I can't really articulate
I mean,
like.
Now that I'm remembering you're not a Lil Wayne guy, it makes more sense. I think it's fair to say you're not a Lil Wayne guy. You're not. I'm not. That's not putting you down.
This is what I would say. I enjoy some of his songs. I would not say I enjoy all of his songs.
Man. Well, that's a shame. But
okay, moving.
I like though. I like how the two artists are like kind of going, kind of like head to head on the track, kind of like Jay-Z and Eminem on Renegade, or name whatever said song. Like I think it's cool to see them both doing their thing. Okay.
No, I definitely agree. So, all right. So that top
Bobby,
3,
you have any
threes?
thoughts on? Do you like to get off on Barry Bonds?
I love it. I'm actually looking at the lyrics right now, dude. Fresh off the plane, Konnichiwa, bitches.
Yeah.
I just the lyrics in this, and like you said, the flow between both of them. It was so progressive. It was natural.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
how
do you not enjoy that? I guess
I just like a different flavor of Kanye.
Yeah, he doesn't like Wayne. That's all right though.
No, but I like a different flavor of Kanye. Like you guys.
All right.
That's okay.
Like a different flavor. I like a different flavor.
I just like when I was listening to this, I was like, oh hell yeah.
I kind of like. To me, it almost feels like it's like a freestyle kind of thing where they're both just like what do you got? And I kind of like that about it. Again, I think too, the more I've listened to it over the years, the more I appreciate it.
Quit stealing my
so,
shit.
What were your guys' thoughts on the bonus tracks? Let's start with Good Night first. That's one Most Def and
Most Def, the great collab.
I fucking love Most Def. I thought the song was all right. I'm not head over heels about it. I also love the collaboration though with John Mayer. So like again, as you said, didn't have a whole lot of featured artists, but the guys we got are fucking all hitters.
Bittersweet Symphony. What were your thoughts on that?
Bittersweet Poetry.
Oh, Poetry. Sorry.
I thought that was great. I don't think I've ever heard that song before. But Bobby, what do you got?
No, like I said, you got Mayer doing Mayer shit, and you got Kanye doing his thing. It was great. It was like Neapolitan ice cream. It was like sherbet on a hot day. I thought it was a great combination, and like you said, you had Nas on the other one,
Most Def.
Most Def. His contribution in that song, I think Woj said it was good. I really enjoyed it, but his just brought it like that little peak to it.
Yeah, I agree. Of the two of them, I prefer definitely Bittersweet Poetry.
Mm-hmm.
And the
I would agree.
fun fact about that was actually made for late registration. He thought it didn't fit with the rest of the album, so he left it off. And then I guess he must have felt it didn't really belong on this either, but he did it as a bonus track for Japan. I think it's a great song. I think it would have been nice. I don't know where on the album would have been, maybe somewhere in the middle.
See, to me, I don't think of like a necessarily, I'm an order guy, but to me, like with Kanye, and if you hit enough fucking home runs, you don't need to really have an order. Like as we said, like Good Morning kind of it works being in the beginning of the album, but really you could have put it anywhere, and you kind of still would have been like, it's still a good song. Like,
I mean, definitely Champion could have kicked it off. I think that would have been a nice opening, but either way, I like the kind of slow going into that. I think it works as well, like we talked about. I thought Good Night was pretty good. Like I think I'm gonna echo what Woj said. Kind of like love Mos Def. Not the best song with him in it, but like it's a good overall is a good track. Not a bad one.
Yep.
All right, cool. So is this your guys' favorite Kanye album?
Yes, resounding yes.
Actually, yeah. I mean, I guess for me, having listened to this front to back, it now became the number one next to College Dropout.
Yeah, I have a hard time picking between those. So like I said, this album really made me a big fan of Kanye. However, I think the College Dropout, I kind of like maybe a little, I don't know, like this is like tighter, but the other album has like just as many good songs. So it's like, it's different. It's more
Dude,
like,
I think that, like you said, it's his marquee album, and it's Kanye coming out firing. And then this one, it's a different focus, different flavor, but it has that same intensity, has that same grab.
I can appreciate that he kind of changed his style a little bit, not like completely, but like added like something new to it, and especially when the first two albums had worked so well, it was kind of like a ballsy decision, and I think it obviously worked out pretty well for him.
Definitely so.
Cool. So I don't have anything else on the
let's
album.
land the plane here.
I love the album art on this. I'll just say this.
Let's go.
Love it.
The album art's amazing. There's some Japanese artist designed
I was going to
it.
say definitely has that Japanese influence
Definitely
to it.
my favorite of the Kanye album arts, if you will.
Yeah, it's just straight up funky, dude. That's what
very
it is.
memorable with the pink and all the
Absolutely
colors
funky.
and the bear like floating away or whatever. This is just a great album. This is like if you're like, hey Ryan, what albums could you like probably know every word to? This would be one of them. Like I was head on while I was playing video games, while I was at work.
Right.
I know I've heard this so many times. Like this is definitely one of my top like 5-10 favorite albums. I would never get sick of this album. It's really good. I believe Bobby has the choice for the next album.
Is that right? Okay. If it is on me,
it is.
Because Woj just last week we did Surfaces.
We did Surfaces.
All right.
I started putting you on the spot, Bobby.
No. It's all right. I'm trying to get the album.
He should have known it.
No, I know. Sorry. I wanted to do the Boys in the Hood. Easy Ice Cube. I'm just trying to get
NWA.
Yeah.
Okay, which like the
I'm trying to find
the first of the Straight Outta Compton or whatever it's called.
Yeah, exactly. Straight Out. Thank you. That's the album. Straight Outta Compton. NWA with Easy.
Okay. That'll be on the next.
I love NWA. I already know I'm gonna love it.
All right, I got you. All right,
I'm an NWA fan.
All right, there it is.
All
right, guys. So we're gonna take a quick break here. We will be back with the review of Champions. I know we kind of did a little bit of a teaser without a movie last week here because we were worrying about if we could get this guy on. We'll get Scott on at another time, definitely.
Scott!
So definitely.
Yeah, he just had a little scheduling conflict.
But we'll be coming back with Champions. This is Woody Harrelson, 2023.
Yep.
We're gonna fucking chop it up. So we'll be back. A couple seconds. 22 to be exact.
Okay, let's rock it.
Welcome back. Welcome back, Journeymen Lounge podcast listeners. My esteemed... fuck me in the face. I am just getting lambasted over here.
Man, you should have picked up the Cubs.
But that is a story for another time. Go Hey, Cubs. This is one thing I want to say to the fucking Cubs organization. If you want your team to win, I demand $500,000 a year And for that $500,000, I will always bet on the Cubs to lose, which means that they automatically will win. Because every time I fucking bet on them, they are fucking going the opposite goddamn way. So, sorry, there's a little rage monster popping out.
No, I know. We should have cashed out. Sorry.
It's all good.
The anger sharks are swimming.
Fuck it, chuck it, let's do it.
All right, let's run.
Goose,
Bobby,
goose, blah, blah.
Yep.
Bobby, this is your movie.
This is my movie. So, like I said, I watched this movie with my now fiance Amber, who is does special education.
And let's take a moment.
Take a
let's
moment,
do a
yeah.
little congrats, dude. That's dope, man.
Yeah, we
Fucking-
got.
I thought this was already. This is new. I thought
He's-
we got
he's
engaged
announcing it to the world
at
here.
Disneyland. So
yeah.
I
So
guess
you had a little plan.
I had a plan in mind. Yeah, I know.
Dude,
I
I
caught
had
her
no
off
idea.
guard. Yeah, I know.
Congrats.
Trust me, I was nervous, but I tried to stay out of my own head, like treat it like a athletic event, if you will.
You've been together for a while. You probably you were.
I knew the
confident.
answer.
Yeah.
I wasn't too worried about the answer, but the setup, you could still be nervous
You
about.
still get nervous, of
I
course.
gotcha. I just want to say congrats to that.
Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Big,
Go ahead with
big
the
matzo ball. Good job.
So I'm glad that event has happened. It was momentous, and now we're moving forward. So
Hell
anyway,
yes.
There we go.
she is a special ed teacher for first, second, up to third grade, and we watched this movie, and it had Woody Harrelson, and it had Cheech.
What is the name of the movie?
So it's Champions.
There
It
you
was put together in 2023. Caitlin Olsen, Woody Harrelson as the, I guess, primary runners of this.
The
And
leads.
the leads. So the synopsis of this movie follows that of almost like a Mighty Ducks in a sense. You had a Woody Harrelson who was an NBA.
Marcus Marzewski or some shit.
Yeah.
He was a coach.
He was an NBA level coach who got bumped down to a collegiate level, now being an assistant coach to one of his friends in Iowa. And, they came to terms, or they came to words during a timeout. Game was on the line, and he ended up getting in his face and then pushed him, and that kind of just sent him over. So his own anger led to him drinking, got pulled over, Dewey.
Well, he crashes into a cop car.
Crashes into a cop car, and it was, just a total spiral, just downhill. And the judge was like, hey, there's this program for, special needs, the basketball team in
They
Des
need
Moines,
a
Iowa.
Coach, yep.
And they're called the Friends. And he's like, you could either go to jail or do 90 days community service, helping, coach and get this, team ready for, different, contests. So he got involved with the team, and he totally 180s himself, and you could see the integrity of his character finally pull through. And it's not just about X's and O's. I guess that was the whole thing. Is this guy, cut and dry X's and O's. This is how you win games. I don't give a shit about your personal life or anything like that. So to a degree, it gets his humanity back. So they do make it to the Special Olympics and go for a championship game. Don't end up winning it, but that's okay. Quite a tale, though, of the up and down of that. And there was also a romantic relationship there with Caitlin Olsen and Woody Harrelson that kind of ties in with her brother Johnny, who's a part of the team. So I kind of gave away quite a bit
That's
of the
fine.
plot.
That's a good
so
synopsis.
Spoiler alert.
All right, so what you got?
So I guess I want to know, just off the cuff, what are your feelings for a movie like this?
Well, I think you nailed it on the head with it is like a Mighty Ducks essentially, except with mentally challenged people instead of kids, but like the similar, and also kind of like a Bad News Bears, which Mighty Ducks kind of comes from that, where it's like team of ragtag kind of misfits or what have you, and then a guy coming in to coach a team doesn't really want to do it, even though he's
reluctant.
He has the knowledge and the ability to, but he personally, for whatever reason, doesn't work out. But then over the course of the movie, they become attached, they bond, and he grows as a person. They grow together. I think you really nailed it with that. I love Woody Harrelson, so anytime he's in anything, I'm in. I'll at least give it a shot.
Right.
TV, movies. I'm a Woody Harrelson. I got season tickets for Woody Harrelson.
He does a lot of basketball movies.
I got season tickets for Woody Harrelson.
I agree with you. I
Right.
like Woody Harrelson and all of his work as well.
He's always, and also I would say he is, you can tell, and obviously he's done many. This isn't his first. He's done many basketball movies. He's a natural athlete, and especially basketball. He likes to hoop. White man can't jump. This semi-pro. I saw him
right there. We have 3 movies off.
And I saw him on YouTube. You guys know like the N1, the professor guy. He had him on his YouTube. They were played like 1-on-1 or 2-on-2. So he
has some skill.
He likes to hoop. Yeah. So it always comes across as natural and Always a great choice for a lead or a supporting actor. He always works, I think.
Yeah, I definitely agree with everything you said about Woody Harrelson for sure. I don't have a way of feeling about it. Like, it's, as Ryan and I were watching the movie earlier, we were like, oh, it says drama comedy, and we were like, where's the drama really? And then there kind of was some dramatic.
And we kind of predicted, we can make predictions about the plot, and we were fairly right on with it, like what we thought would happen.
Yeah.
But that's not the point. The point is like that this story has been
personal
done.
journey.
It's more about who, how the chemistry of the actors, and like, are they pulling it off? Are they giving me something that I haven't seen, maybe, kind of thing. I think more than the story itself.
Okay, I like that.
I just was kind of getting to that these types of movies are not normally where I go. If I'm gonna sit down to watch a movie, obviously comedy is first, but then if I'm gonna go drama, I'm going like hard drama. This is like more like heartfelt, like
this is, I'd say, a light drama.
It's like
not. I like dramatic, as in like drama thriller.
Drama.
So like Die Hard. Right?
Yeah, I'm just saying more like
I'm just saying
thriller,
that level of caliber, I guess.
Like, here's drama. I think there's thriller here. There's like heartfelt, like rom-com type of stuff. Like,
this
not
is definitely on the left.
I think if we were making a pie chart,
right,
it'd probably be like 85% comedy, 15% drama. Maybe I'm even giving a little more to the drama than it deserves. But like something like,
I would say it's about a good split.
And it's kind of like, you got certain shows that do kind of a similar thing. Like you got like, Shameless or Rescue Me, shows that like to dip into the comedy, but every now and then, like have serious elements, serious episodes. So, for the movie, had a good way, maybe like 10, 15 minutes of seriousnness. But other than that, it's pretty much comedy, I would say, on the whole.
All right.
I want to just dive into this, and we'll do maybe quotes to this. But there's the character dynamic between Caitlin Olsen and Woody Harrelson. I just loved the pairing on screen. I thought it was very fun, very natural, and you gotta love Caitlin Olsen. I mean,
she was looking good,
underrated actress, and just really knows how to deliver and give you that on-screen just presence. And Woody Harrelson, I think he's really great at complimenting without taking away. There's certain actors that kind of like that demand that type of like.
Yeah, no,
I think he's very, he's a
team player.
He's peanut butter and jelly with those two.
Yeah. So as that, let's transition into the cast more. I mean, there's not.
Cast.
To me, there's not a whole lot in.
Well, it's a lot of the mentally challenged people playing the roles, of course, which is good, makes sense. Like we were talking about before or during the movie, maybe like 20, 30 years ago, they would have had real. Or
actors trying to play
that. It's good to see they actually cast.
I mean, even 15 years ago, they did it in The Ringer. But no, I just had a kind of couple notes about the cast. That was like Woody Harrelson and Caitlin Olsen. You guys knocked it out of the park, kind of with both.
Great
of them.
chemistry.
Great chemistry in both. Like if they're in something, I'll give it a watch for sure. Just a couple other quick notes. I mean, Ernie Hudson plays a minor role.
Yep, Ernie Hudson.
I do have to mention his name is like Philly Fratelli.
Like,
the name doesn't align with
what?
It just doesn't make sense to me either. That was kind of one of my picky nits. And you got Cheech. Cheech as
Cheech would, but then honestly in the same vein of that is like you have these guys like Ernie Hudson and Cheech. I mean, Ernie Hudson kind of played to the extent of the character. With Cheech though, like I feel like they gave him nothing. You got to give Cheech some more like old mentor mentee type of thing with Woody Harrelson, like, hey man, like you gotta make the most of this shit. Or
he had a couple of scenes like the one where they're standing outside the center and they're talking about he tells them like, oh, these guys have lives, like this guy works here, this guy works there, they live here, they live there. But as far as like other than that, he didn't really get a lot more. Maybe like he could have become like a assistant coach or something. Maybe they could have got him involved more that way. I think at the end of the movie, he goes to the game with them, obviously, in Winnipeg.
Yeah. You know what? I kind of liked that they dashed him into this movie. And the fact is, like, he's not playing to his, like, he's not playing to his primary role of, like, some type of stoner. But I really enjoyed that he was just he was like that soft, kinder, older, gentleman that kind of just adds a little touch of like, hey, have you even considered? Do you know their names? So I kind of like the fact that they didn't make him, too much of a character.
Yeah, he was good. But to Woj's point, like, or like I think maybe what he's kind of getting at is like, if they would have had someone else in this role, I don't think it would have changed the movie too much.
No, in my mind, I don't want to be super predictive of like this is what the character should do because it has happened in other movies. I just think it works well when you have a guy down on his luck. He comes to a place. This guy is like the older guy that's been running shit. I just want more interaction between them that, to me, is either you can either be more dramatic or like trying to go on that range, or you can be comedic. I don't think they did either. I think Cheech was more of like an informational
kind of
character.
like exposition,
right?
Yeah.
And like to me, in that, I'm like, that just is not enough meat on that bone. One other just quick note though is that you were talking about him being maybe an assistant coach. That guy Matt Cook, who fucking played Sonny. He was one of the worst actors. I hated every single second that he was on the screen.
You didn't like the assistant who tried to help out?
Well, he was a trainer at the
trainer,
other thing, and then he
assistant,
became the assistant. He was the most annoying fucking guy. Was trying to be funny and quirky. Get the fuck off my screen. That was the worst part of the movie.
Man.
Wow, I know. Grinch over here.
I didn't like love him, but didn't have a problem with him.
He's a fucking asshole.
Okay, hold on. I want you to follow up. If you had to recast, who are you putting in that spot?
So, as I thought that you would maybe say, so now this was actually, I think, a pretty decent sized budget movie. If I'm, just based on the sound.
It didn't say. It just said it made $19.2 million.
But I'm just saying, based on the talent that they have in the cast and the soundtrack, they definitely use a lot of big name songs here. I'm thinking they could have got, if you were going to go real dramatic, I'm thinking maybe like a Joseph Gordon-Levitt type. That could have been.
I mean, I love Gorson. Gorson.
Words are hard.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I'm a big guy, a big fan of his.
Right, so there's that at that side. If you're going comedic, I don't know. There's a lot of guys that I think could have fit in there. I don't have one to pull off the top of my head, but like I'm just saying, like for me, this guy is just he's trying to hit a certain like comedic kind of like palate cleanser, but to me just everything that he says is a little bitch sometimes. He's a fucking whatever. I'm just like, I just was totally out on that guy. That was just my thing with that. I don't have anything. Also Mike Smith from the Trailer Park Boys, Bubbles, was in that. He was kind of funny. He was like
the lawyer.
Yeah, the lawyer. He was like
That's right, he was. That was a good that guy. I love Bubbles.
Fuck, what was one of those quotes though that he had? He's like, try to look pathetic. There you go, perfect.
Yeah, can you do a limp?
He's like, I need you to be super honest with me. Have you had any amount to drink before this court case? He's like, no. He's like, good, because I've had several, so one of us should be straight.
Yeah.
Budget was I looked this up real quick. Budget was $45 million. It only grossed about 19 worldwide box office.
$45 million is a pretty decent sized budget because you got to think Woody Harrelson's commanding 4 or 5.
I'm certain of it. And Caitlin Olsen, she's at least earned her credit.
Easily a couple mil, yeah.
I mean, the problem is with Hollywood these days, not to get a whole thing, but like they spend way too much on movies. Like this movie should have been like a $10-15 million movie, and then you could have probably made your money back more. I don't know if any $45 million. It's a pretty good amount.
And this is a 2-hour movie. This is 124 minutes by director Bobby
Farrelly. But I'm just saying, like the rest of the cast, like all the actors who played the players, I'm sure they didn't get a super lot of money.
No, it's probably some of their first times.
You only have
acting.
Ernie Hudson and Cheech Marin for like. They probably did like a day of shooting, maybe 2 days of shooting. So essentially, most of your money is going towards where you're shooting at, location, the music.
Which was Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Bobby Farrelly, the director, Woody, and Caitlin. So I would think maybe for like $10 million, you could probably have done it, but I don't know.
You could have done it. Okay, I really like the underlying feel good of this movie. I know you guys maybe it didn't hit all of your boxes.
No, yeah,
but
I liked it too. Yeah.
So I guess what are maybe favorite scenes, and then we can do favorite quotes. So let's do scenes.
I'll go quick. Love any Sports Center drop-in for any movies. Those are
they did. Yeah.
Some of my favorite. They had Scott Van Pelt and Jalen Rose. Mm-hmm. Some of the away game, like the elements of it, like the bus getting, they're getting kicked off the bus and stuff like that. I did enjoy some of those. They're playing the games or whatever. That was about it for me. So,
yeah, I'm gonna definitely say the bus scene is my favorite. Where the guy like projectile vomits on the lady, and then they throw the gum at the bus driver, and they get kicked off, and then the sister has to pick him up. That was pretty good. I mean, a lot of just in general, just Woody with the players, just bonding with the players. A
lot of fun scenes.
I'll just group those together. The one where they had like the mouse in the shower, and he finally got the kid to take a shower. And
Johnny.
and him coming to the Darius's house and saying, with the drunk driving thing, and like that was pretty good. I think also like the whole I love anything with basketball, the fight in the beginning where he pushes him and he tells him that he wants to run this play. Why aren't you running this play?
Which he was right, by the way.
And then getting hitting the cop car, which we knew was gonna happen because he's looking away the whole time. That was funny. Yeah, I think that was pretty good. I think that's for me. That's pretty much it.
I think someone pointed this out earlier. His court, him in court was just fucking hilarious. That was a funny scene.
See, I think they could have done more with that.
They could have extended that scene out for sure and got a little bit more, I guess, laughs or a little bit more humor built into that. But then I kind of like the dinner scene when they're doing Meatloaf Monday. I thought that was kind of fun.
That was good. I thought again, Woj is right. It should have been longer. They kind of were. You were saying with the
fast track through that like lawyer the courthouse scene. So.
I mean, there's just to me, it's just a bad allocation of like time spent with other things. I really think that they really tried to push the love story part of it, which I think that should have taken a back seat to then the player stuff, or like again the coach. Like you want to be like you're trying to feel bad for Woody Harrelson, but not bad enough that you don't want to see him kind of rise up and get to the next level or whatever. But again, I think they didn't do it right. Again, I went into it. I thought this was going to be an 1.5-hour movie, and when it was
a little bit longer of a commitment for those who are going to watch it.
I mean, it's not too crazy, but I'm just saying in terms of what it is, I would have thought that it would have tapped out like an hour 45, maybe like an hour 40. But that being said,
should we go to quotes?
Yeah, quotes.
I like the pick and roll gives me a hard on, and then they kept bringing that back throughout the movie. We're going to give you a hard on, coach. They give you a hard on, and then he's like, "I'll explain later," kind of thing. And then he called the one guy. The guy was saying something. I think it was the guy who wears the helmet, and he's like, "Not now, Wikipedia." I thought that was funny.
I think his name's Marlon, right?
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah. And then the one when he meets the one girl with Down syndrome, she's like, "You're no McConaughey."
Yeah, Thank you. Oh,
really
you stole my.
He's like, am I ugly or something? He's like, no, you're no McConaughey.
Yeah, so that was fun dropping that in.
They used jabroni in there. I love that.
Yes. I think the lawyer said, fist me.
Yeah, he's like, fist me.
That kind of was funny. I jotted that down as well.
Right off the bat, Kaylin Olsen in the very first scene, she was like, you have one book. And it's like visualizing. It's like, oh, did you visualize this? And then flips him the bird. I
visualized you leaving sooner.
Yeah.
I liked Constantino, the girl who was basically shut up and fucking get in there. Like she was the authority as part of the players, just like not allowing them to bullshit their way out of things.
Is your toe attached to your heart? Then get in there.
Get your ass.
He's getting asked by the judge. He was like, she was like, with intellectual disabilities. I was like, we talking retard Americans or?
Yeah, he didn't know how to say it.
I mean, for the woke police, that.
I don't give a fuck.
No, I know. I'm just saying for those people who,
quoting
it's a quote.
It's a quote from the movie.
And speaking of quoting, he's talking to the fucking the.
A lot of F's in here.
He's talking to. I forget if it's the judge. I don't think it's the judge. I think it's the guy at the bar. He's like, "Don't go quoting cat posters for me."
Yeah. Or how about when
the judge was Alexandra Castillo too? She's been in a few different other movies.
When Woody Harrelson was talking to Kaylin Olsen about, he's like, "Oh, he got in an accident with water when he was younger. Is that why he's?" No, you don't get Down syndrome from water. He was born with it.
No, to some extent, for those who maybe not are around people with special needs or intellectual disabilities, this might be a good eye opener to hey. They're just out there, just like everyone else, trying to play ball and just trying to
live
fun.
life. And I really like the scene where Marin was explaining like these guys all have lives. Like this guy works here.
These guys are part of a group home, and Johnny was trying to get there, and like that whole pulling away or detaching from his family.
They're people.
Yeah,
and like the one
just
scene
like
with the one girl was like. She's like, I have Down syndrome. I'm not deaf. Yeah. And he's like, do you understand?
The one guy, when he's talking about they're wearing different colored jerseys the one day, and he's like, I suffer from colorblindness, so I don't know what I'm wearing right now.
Don't worry, you're wearing blue, so you're okay.
What else I got?
I like the one who's always like, yeah, I'm constantly having sex and threesomes.
Yeah, I was scared. I was scared when I had my first threesome. Kaylin Olsen, when she's being the cop, she's like, hang on my dick and balls.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it.
Like, this is my basketball.
This is my basketball, yep.
I gotcha. All right, should we move on to soundtrack?
I usually go. Yeah, there was a ton of good songs in this movie.
Stellar soundtrack. Chumbawamba.
Definitely one of the. That's your pick. Tub Thumping.
Tub Thumping by Chumbo. No, go ahead. Run through some of the other
albums. I'm just saying.
I jotted down. We had Tub Thumping, Bad Mama Jamma, Pina Colada, or if you like Pina Coladas, A-Punk, Hey Ya, and You're Unbelievable.
They also had the Harlem Globetrotters theme song at a point.
And the one, I forgot what it's called, Carmen, I think. It's in Bad News Bears too, like the opera song they're playing for a minute.
It's funny that you say that though, because I definitely was like, this is definitely a Bad News Bears type of vibes that I get.
Well, again, Bad News Bears I think started. Then you got Mighty Ducks. Hardball did a similar thing, where it's like the coach, the guy who comes from a bad place, but he's got knowledge, and then they bond. It's a formula that works time and time again. It's a trusted formula.
Right.
That's fair. And I mean, some of this budget. I mean, some of these songs they're not cheap. So
that's probably where a lot of the money went. Or at least,
what? I guess what great tracks on this whole thing.
Great, yeah. I mean, it's hard to pick. I mean, Tub Thumping's probably the one if you had to like.
I grew up to that.
Which one do you remember from the movie?
And they did a musical scene at the very end. So if you guys get to the end of it, you're gonna be really in for a show.
Absolutely. What else we got, Bobby?
All right, I would say let's go with our picky nits, and then maybe some scenes or characters that we want to see more of, less of, or swap out. So let's do picky nits and then character.
I had one picky nit. I feel like Darius should join the team a little earlier in the season in the movie. He held out for a long time, and we were kept wondering why, and then we find out, which is a good reason. He was his brain was significantly affected because he got hit by a drunk driver, and Woody Harrelson was a drunk driver.
And this kid apparently had Allen Iverson type of skill set.
So he was a real player. And he finally find that out, and but he doesn't come to I think the game before basically the championship or the game to
the qualifier.
Right. So I kind of think again, we've seen this before in different movies like Jimmy Chitwood and Hoosiers or Kelly Leak at Bad News Bears, or they come a little bit they wait, but then it's not the game before they're in and then they're in the championship. Usually it's midway through the season or something like that. It's a little thing. Maybe just 10 minutes sooner, I don't know, or whatever, a couple games beforehand.
Yeah, just jumping on that though, man, as you mentioned a couple different movies that are kind of following similar formulas. I think it's pretty predictable with a lot of stuff, and in my experience in movie going, I'm I know that you're not going to reinvent the wheel, but I think at times you can be hey, you don't need to set it up like they set it up with that Showtime kid.
I love Showtime. I thought he was a great
but I'm just
character.
saying they did the backward shot, and they were really harping on they gave you 7 different notifications I think throughout the movie and the practice and stuff like that.
Okay, so you're saying really laying it on thick, I
think he's saying he wanted him to make the shot. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying is that you set it up that okay, this kid is definitely going to take the shot. Okay, he makes or misses a shot. There's only 2 outcomes there, though. So it's not like you're being, again, super inventive there of, this is going to be completely different. I think it's the nature of these movies that you have, a Mighty Ducks or whatever. You want to feel good. The ultimate ending of the movie is them, even though they missed the shot, they're having a great time. They felt like champions.
Exactly.
Yeah, so, I mean, namesake of the movie.
Yeah, it's Bad News Bears, they're just happy to be able to play in the game, to compete, that they're
I'm just saying,
chance.
I just think that when you're, definitely out there, I just think that you can just do a little bit better of something else that you throw it in, or just be more inventive in Hollywood. That's all. But and then I also did say that this was based on something else, so I'm sure that's kind of similar what happened in the other movies there. I do just have that I think there need more supporting characters that are going to be more substantial, whether it's giving them more scenes, just being better as actors or what have you. Woody Harrelson, Caitlin Olsen, even Cheech for what it was, fine. Ernie Hudson for what it was. I think he could have just added in some other characters to give a little bit of meat on that bone, Yeah,
maybe the coaches on the other teams could have been someone more of note, and they could have had, maybe totally. a little rivalry or something, or go back and forth with Woody.
Do you feel like doing that though? And this is just more of a question: would that try to bake in too much And that's all I'm saying. It would be like trying to do too much by, creating different types of narratives off of the main narrative just to make it more interesting.
I don't think it's really creating more narratives. I think Woj is just saying that maybe it just gives you a couple more funny scenes with more like well-known, substantial actors instead of the individuals who are the players who are not, maybe they're actors, but they're not like Woody Harrelson or Caitlin Olsen or whatever. Like, maybe just like a couple scenes, maybe like Jason Sudeikis is the coach of one of the teams, and
I just feel
more a cameo.
Yeah, just like a quick, like they're not going to be a big part of the movie, but they might add a little flavor to it.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I also just have the last couple of things here is I think there's lots of opportunity for missed jokes where, like, again, I know this isn't trying to be a straight up comedy, but like there's a couple instances where I was like, that's what they wrote in that shit was like, yeah, I'll try that or something like that. Again, it's just like, what I can't believe that it wasn't more there. And then I just got to mention, as we kind of said in the beginning, Woody Harrelson is like one of the all-time great movie basketball players. Love him in anything. And then also, as we mentioned on the last podcast in Stripes, there's a basketball hoop in Woody's house.
Yes.
And we see him shooting that.
Yeah. Always a good, I also would say too, things I like, positives, the character of Benny.
Benny, yeah.
He had awesome basketball jerseys in every scene. He had a different he had like a LeBron James Heat. He had a Team USA, Dream Team one. He had like a bunch of them throughout the movie. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, like I said, I think some of the players, the characters, Cody being the guitarist for a band. You had Benny, the dishwasher, but he was tall. He had to be like 6'3", and
he's a big
pretty
boy.
Coordinated. Johnny.
I would say too that even though obviously the basketball itself is not going to be the greatest of basketball because of the people who are playing it, this Special Olympic people or whatever you want to call it, mentally challenged people, but the way it was filmed, I think, was pretty good. Like a lot of wide shots and then sometimes an occasional zoom. Like, you could see what was actually happening. Like, it wasn't like, how did the ball get over there? Why did this happen? Like we talked about in some movies where like they go the wrong way or something. Like I thought
they really didn't give a fuck about the order of like how a play should develop, because realistically it's just kind of more of like not super chaos, but like there's just obviously
just having fun.
Yeah, it's not like, hey, you're gonna set up, like they were trying to implement the pick in the movie, and it's like, this is not.
I would say for being like basically like the sports probably is secondary, like somewhat the the way they're shooting it, but I still thought it was shot pretty well in those scenes.
And I actually enjoyed it, and I know Woj might be on the other side of this. I enjoyed some of those smaller transitions, like I said, that you have the hotel hallway. Yeah. Like I said, they try to inject some comedy and just some foolhardiness into it. And I really thought that some of the dialogue, I guess for me, the dialogue between Woody Harrelson and Caitlin felt very real. I felt like that is a conversation that would happen in real life, especially when he got called up to Seattle. And talking to her outside, by the car, like that sounded like a real conversation. It's not like, I guess the writers did a good job in that sense, but
for sure.
I get some of your notes.
They're believable as a couple. Like originally when the movie started, I was like, oh, she's with Woody. Like he's kind of older than her. Like not that Woody, like he looks good for his age.
I mean, the story made sense.
But when the movie went, as you said, this movie went on, the story made sense with her character and just their in general chemistry together worked very well.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, the last part before I think we move on to the next category here is just that in my like picky nit of it all would just be that I feel like they were trying to go very much feel good. This is a dramatic story and we want to have it go this way. Then you have to not try and fit into a comedy mold, which I think that they really tried to do. There was a couple of the teammates of the basketball team. Their only role was comedic. There was no substance there. There's no thing. In my mind, if you're going to try and go drama, then you really have to kind of.
So you're saying embrace one or the other, but do that.
In my mind, this doesn't work as a dramedy or a camera. I don't just in comedy drama, but
patent pending, copyright. Right, yeah.
I'm just saying it's like I agree. I think you're on the right track. It's like I don't think they tried to fit into this lane, but you're really to make the story better. I think it could have gone more dramatic. I think it would have hit better.
Okay, that's fair.
They had a couple quick things, like I said, with the brother and the sister, and then with Darius. Other than that, it was not really much
All right, so
drama.
last category, then we'll rank it.
Sure.
But mine was like, what characters do you wish, we're not doing swap outs. What characters do you wish you could have seen more, or maybe have a little bit more lines? Mine out of the gate was Caitlin Olsen and Johnny's mom. I thought she had great chemistry and just good one-liners with Woody Harrelson and all that.
She goes,
oh, you hear that?
Yeah, she's like, "What are you here for? An afternoon quickie?" She's like, "Mom, it's like just trying to help."
It just felt so fun, like her as a mom, like that felt so real. It was good. So that'd be my.
I definitely agree with that.
I echo that. Yeah, the mom for sure. I think would be the choice.
I would go Ernie Hudson, but with the story, it's definitely tough to like work him in as much. Like he was worked in as much as I think he could with like the initial thing, and then basically. End of the movie, they're like, "Hey, now reconciliation here." I don't know. It's tough to say like it would have changed the whole kind of feel of or plot of the movie and all that shit. But if you could have worked him in more, that would have definitely been
okay.
I think. Or I'm just a fan of Ernie Hudson. For
no,
sure.
yeah, we all are. Okay. And you're on the same.
Yeah, I'm going with the mom.
Position,
yeah,
right.
she's funny.
And a little bit, like you said, I'm happy with how Cheech was put into this, but like him or the lawyer, like you said. Maybe just drag it out another 20, 30 seconds. That would have been fun, All right, so this movie was available for me on Amazon Prime, and I believe that's where you guys
me and Woj watched it right before Bobby came, or actually as he came over.
Yeah, as he was coming in.
Because Amazon
some technical difficulties throughout the movie, but we got through it.
Fuck you.
Probably took about 2.5 instead of 2, but that's okay. We watched it. So
that's all right.
Very fresh for the pod.
It eventually fucking worked.
All right, so now we come down to what is your ranking? Rent, own, pass, buy,
It's own, stream, or skip.
Own, stream, or skip. There it is.
Woj, yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Our resident Russian judge.
Yep.
Yeah, I would. For me personally,
that's okay. Be real.
I like it. No,
this is a skip. This is not something that, again, as Ryan kind of was mentioning of like being Woody Harrelson's in it, I was definitely more excited about it, but it's so far removed from Billy. Not Billy. I was thinking of Billy and fucking White Men Can't Jump. It's so far removed from Woody in a position where I want to see him at best. I don't want to see him coaching. I want to see him playing. I want to see him chopping.
Would you rather
it up.
have him in like Natural Born Killers? Like
Natural Born Killers.
Okay, that's
sure.
more of your
taste. At this point in his career, he's like 61 when he shot this movie.
No, but what I'm just saying in general though is that like I prefer to see him playing basketball. Even in semi-pro, he was like 50, 40, something like that, and it didn't really make a whole lot of sense. Like not make a whole lot of sense, but like you clearly could see he was 40.
I mean, they gave him a nice wig.
And all that bullshit. I just prefer Woody Harrelson really to be not coaching. It's not my cup of tea. I would skip this one. Okay. I will say if it ends up being on TV or something like that, I may just be like, oh, yeah, that one scene that was good. But overall, I'm going to skip it.
What's the
ranking?
My rating is probably going to be a 6.1.
Okay.
Wow.
No, it's okay. Hey, I appreciate honesty.
I just can give
my
reaction.
This, though,
I have no problem with it.
No, to echo what Woj was saying, though, okay, Woody Harrelson, like you said, I expect him in a different light. But when he was in that Venom movie, him trying to play a younger him, you could tell like that was a stretch. And I was just like, I still love him because he's Woody, but I was like, come on, like they could have got a better actor for that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. For me, that was just kind of a miss, but I do like Woody. So Ryan,
all right, I'm gonna go with Stream.
Stream, okay.
I think that I would not need to own this, but for me personally, love Woody Harrelson, love Caitlin Olsen. I'm a sucker for sports movies, especially basketball movies. It's my favorite sport, so I'll always give it a watch, give it a chance. It was. It wasn't my favorite movie, but it was entertaining. I was never bored throughout or anything like that.
Okay, that's a positive. Silver lining.
It was worth a watch. I think. I'm gonna go 7.1.
Okay, and for me, kind of similar to you, I would stream this, or if it's on TV, pick it up. Still, a nice heartfelt movie, and my rating on that would be a 7.5.
Okay.
I think it hits right there. It's not a home run, but at the same time, it's not a miss either. It's upsetting that the box office doesn't reflect. Like I was hoping they could at least break even, but maybe they put a lot of the budget, like you said, $45 million into a lot of those factors that just eat it up.
I feel like if this movie was like a Netflix movie, it would have done like better.
Okay, so
maybe
more of a streaming option,
more
to
buzz, more word of mouth, and then
Okay.
maybe like you don't have to worry as much about the box office.
because I don't think they did much marketing for this. I don't
No,
remember.
I remember seeing the preview and the trailer, and I was like, oh, that could be funny, but I didn't see it. But I do remember.
But I think that
briefly.
they didn't have like a mass marketing type of events that
Yeah.
you'd see with some other movies.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think just on the branding side of it, I feel like it's one of those movies that was just like, there's so many more big movies, either whether it's a Marvel movie or a superhero movie, or it's like, hey, this is a fucking huge give me something that's like an Oscar something, like
Saving Private Ryan.
but like for 2023 is what I kind of was going for. Get out.
1917.
Suck! Let's go, baby. We got a bet that's hoping to fucking hit.
3-run blast.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That shaves it. All right.
I was just saying, like, I definitely think that having Woody Harrelson and Kalen Olsen is a big part to why this movie works. And if you don't have the right actors, it might not have worked as well. So I think getting them was huge, and especially Woody with the basketball background, like you said. I think it works very well for him being a basketball. It's very believable. Him being a basketball coach.
For sure. Absolutely agree.
All right. Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate your feedback on this.
Yeah.
And who are we teasing for the
I think
next?
it's Woj.
So me, I got a hitter. It's a home run, as we just saw.
Is it a baseball movie? Is that the hint?
No, it's not. I'm going with Shawshank.
Oh shit!
The Shawshank
Fucking
Redemption.
Believe it or
Shut-
not, this did not do well in the box office.
Yeah, well,
I don't
Because
give
it
a
was
fuck 'cause
no,
it's-
I'm just saying it was right around like 4 other different like iconic movies
yeah.
of the time, which kind of sucked in terms of
When you
it's-
get screwed with those movies that they just put out there and they're like, hey, this is going to be the movie of the summer, I can understand how Shawshank.
to be fair, like you said, Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump.
Yep. Here we go.
This, I'm forgetting another one, but whatever.
Wasn't Ace Ventura on one of them?
Yeah,
it's something like
94
that.
is a big movie, or one of the best of all time.
One
But
of
we're
the
gonna,
best.
I'm sure we'll get into it in the pod, but great choice.
We're going to do Shawshank
Shawshank,
Redemption
okay.
coming at you next week. That being said, okay, I do reserve the right, though, if we do have Scott on next week, we will go with his movie, The Devil's Double. So now, the fans that have stayed through this long, you either got, again, you got The Devil's Double or you have Shawshank Redemption. That's what we're coming at you. Two good flicks that we'll fucking present to you and review next week for the Journeymen Lounge podcast. Buddies, this has been a good one. I am Woj. This to my right.
I am Ryan.
And you got Bobby on the end. Make sure you like, subscribe, join, or follow us on Instagram. We're trying to create a social, presence.
We're on the gram. I got
On the gram.
I got a clip on there. I heard it's going viral.
Oh, let's go.
Hell yeah. All right. Journeyman Lounge podcast. We'll talk to y'all at a fucking another time. Cue the music.